Welcome back to Casterton Vintage. Today we're at Woolpit Rally near Bury St Edmunds. I'm sorry to say I've never been before. It's been highly recommended and now I know why. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. We got there nice and early and managed to catch some of the tractors as they arrived. This unrestored Wallace seems to be a bit camera shy. I always think there's something special about the sound of an international Titaners at Ripples Pass. Just imagine seeing one of these for the first time back in 1915. Probably the first time you'd ever seen a tractor. We'll just check back on the Wallace and see how things are going. And roughly 10 years after you saw your first Titan, you probably bumped into one of these coming down the street. The International Harvester McCormick Deering 1020. Jump nearly 10 more years and it's an International Harvester F20 you might be looking at. The grey paint identifies this one as being pre-1937. The owner tells me this is nicknamed a chicken perch Fordson. I'm sure you can work out why. Experience teaches us that it doesn't matter how many times you put your binder canvases on, you need to just think about it for a minute before you commit, otherwise you end up with them on the wrong way round.
We'll find out.
This Nicholson cultivator's got some quite interesting points on it. We're back for another look at the Wallace and it's still not going. The only way we're going to fix this is to keep the camera away from it. A nicely restored International Junior. Production started in 1918 and finished in 1922. Notice what's made it into place behind the Caterpillar 15 here. And here's an unusual Fordson Model F. This one's fitted with a Hamilton transmission to replace the worm gear in the standard Fordson.
Unusual, and that was the American conversion they did out there. So it got gear drive.
Standing next to the Hamilton transmission Fordson is this Irish Fordson Model F. This one's been converted from trembler coils to magneto ignition. The International single-cylinder 816 Mogul, and standing next to it the very special International 1225 Twin Mogul. Another tractor I've never seen before. This is a Fowler No. 5 motor plough, built in 1920.
When you're ploughing, your plough shares are here, so there's a light there that shines down, so you've even got electric engine going. This is crazy. Normally,
And standing next to the Fowler were this pair of Moline motor ploughs.
so as the engine speeds up, the reaction between...
The Universal B and next the Universal D.
I'll leave you to enjoy them. Have a good day.
But rather than turning it back, it just turns the wheel. So, what is this? I don't want to do exactly this.
We need somebody to explain this Universal D to us in the comments. There's a lot of electrics on here for a 1919 tractor. The ground conditions were very wet, so they weren't allowing any steam engine movements. I took a walk down the line with the camera.
I mean, Hills was a contractor who knew all the year round. They do a lot of this bloody slate stuff. Made silage, grass.
This is an interesting and unusual little portable engine from Richard Hornsby. That in itself makes it quite rare, but this one's got an extra cylinder. The show programme tells me that this is a low pressure compressor, and the portable spent its entire working life on a well sinker's windlass for Charles Lack and Sons of Cottenham. Moving along now to the horticultural section, we come across a tractor that's very familiar to me, the Martin Markham Colt. You've seen Martin Markham cultivators all over the world, but the Colt tractor was something of a special machine that didn't seem to sell in very big numbers. Martin Markham went out of business in 1970. And this is a trustee tractor, another horticultural tractor of the period. Presumably these machines really struggled against the Japanese market garden tractors of the day. similar to the British motorbike industry. The military section seems to have been overtaken by the American Army. And this guy is showing a GI how to start a standard Fordson.
Got some details about this one as well.
I wonder how many times this happened back in the day.
You're putting it through there actually. It's a cracking idea. It's a cracking idea.
Back now with the tractors, we'll take a look at some of the Fergusons and Ferguson implements. I would think this is quite unusual, the Ferguson beat topper. I wouldn't mind one of these if somebody knows where there is one. Drop me a comment. In this corner of the field we've found some nicely restored Fordsons, starting off with this Super Major. And then a Fordson Diesel Major. Fordson Dexter. A Fordson Super Dexter, and on the end of the line another Fordson Super Major. Some unusual steel wheels on this Fordson Model N. The SFV company date back to the mid-19th century. They didn't start building tractors until the 1930s. They weren't particularly successful, and eventually they went out of business in around about 1960. In 1947, Fordson offered the Major with a P6 engine. Other options included 2 different 3-point linkage systems, both self-contained and from third-party suppliers. It must have been quite impressive to drive with the 45 horsepower Perkins 6-cylinder engine over the original petrol paraffin engine. And when it comes to diesel engine upgrades, how about this conversion on a Fordson N? The Massey Harris 203, an American import from Racine, Wisconsin. Produced between 1940 and 1947. Our next tractor is a David Brown 30C built in the 50s. And on the back of it we've got an interesting David Brown reversible plough. Our next David Brown's a Cropmaster built between 47 and 53. The David Brown 30 TD, or tracked diesel, built between 1953 and 1959. And the David Brown 50 ITD, or industrial tracked diesel. This one had a 6-cylinder engine delivering 50 horsepower. So we need a David Brown expert to put us right on this one. Is this an industrial 2D, or is it a Vineyard narrow track 2D?
And we won't be having the traction engine at slow rate at 12:30. We will be having the low stop dog agility display team. We want to check our ground conditions, check that and that's where you can find your commercial transport vehicles.
Quite an unusual tractor to find in the UK is International Farmall F235D, made in France between 57 and 59. Earlier we looked at a Martin Markham Colt tractor. This is a Martin's cultivator, the same company, a little earlier on in its life, made in my hometown of Stamford. We're back now with the McCormick Deering binder, and yes, they got the canvases on, they've done a good job of it, and it looks very smart. And here's another international Titan. Behind the Titan is a Blackstone hay tedder. These were also made in Stamford along the same road as the Martin Markham equipment. Another old and rare tractor, the Saunderson Model G, built in 1918. This one's paired up with a Samuelson sail reaper. I was quite drawn to this Barford and Perkins early road roller. If you've seen my video on the restoration of our local cricket club roller, you'll understand why. And yes, the Perkins is Frank Perkins of Perkins Engines before those days. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button and give us a like, maybe even subscribe. And also leave us a comment. We'd love to hear what you've got to say about the tractors and the memories they bring back. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next Sunday with another video.